We love the Taylor GS Mini. I mean, that comes as no surprise. We did an entire video on why not just us, but why everybody loves the GS Mini. In this video though, I want to break down a few key points that I think for anybody who may still be on the fence about these guitars, this may be the deciding factor that kind of pushes you over the edge. I won't be touching too much on specs. There's certainly a few that I will go over. I just more wanted to highlight, why everybody should try a GS Mini at least once. Cool? Cool. Let's kick things right off then with number one, and that's comfort. Being comfy while playing the guitar, well, it might not be on the top of the list that you look for when playing it. It's certainly something that really cannot be overlooked. I mean, just looking at some of the more popular guitars on the market that designs haven't really changed in maybe 60 or 70 years, it's almost like they were kind of not designed to sit on the human body. It's almost like sitting with a slab of wood pressed up against you. It isn't, the ideal thing to do, although we're not deterring you from sitting for hours and hours playing your guitar. In fact, we actively encourage it. When it comes to the GS Mini though, it is a shrunken version of their Grand Symphony body. Now Taylor make quite a few different body shapes, but with the Grand Symphony you'll notice it has this almost kind of dip in at the waist here of the guitar, and of course this being a much smaller version of that, you're not really going to experience any sort of discomfort from like an awkward arm angle or, of it pressing in way too much against you. It's just a really, really perfect guitar for, kind of lazing about and sort of just sitting when you want to play, like whether it be on the sofa, whether it be in the park, or sort of any situation that you would want to play your guitar in. Number two is ease of playing. Now this may be a little personal, as everybody's experience is a little bit different, but I would imagine some of you certainly who are watching this video are in the same position as me, and that's as a predominantly electric guitar player, I can sometimes find some acoustics quite difficult to play. Whether that be, slightly bigger bodies, whether that be, necks that are maybe just a little bit different from a lot of electrics that I play, it can just be a bit of a struggle on those first interactions with some of those guitars. That's where the GS Mini comes in, and particularly the neck. With a slightly shorter scale length than a traditional acoustic or electric of 23.5 inches and a nut width of 1 11/16 inches, it's an incredibly comfy neck to play for sort of any period of time. To me, certainly the neck feels, kind of that sort of C shape, almost kind of veering into kind of a V shape, certainly like at the kind of like right in the middle there, but it just falls really effortlessly into your hands. You're not going to be really struggling much to get your hands around it. Certainly the smaller nut width will kind of prove a little bit, difficult at first if you're predominantly a finger picker who plays more standard nut width acoustic guitars, but certainly with a little bit of experience and just a little bit of time with it, I think you'll have that nailed in absolutely no time. The fact that the neck is also a matte finish too means that if you do really want to kind of speed things up on this guitar, there's not going to be any gloss that holds you back, but I'll leave the acoustic shredding up to you guys out there. The GS Mini has carved out its own reputation with this sound. By no means is the sound of this wee guy small in any sort of way, and that is because of years and years of development and skill from Taylor themselves. If you want to get a word from the Taylor team themselves, just click the link above my head. That'll take you to a playlist where we visited the Taylor factory, and you can hear it from Andy Powers and Bob Taylor themselves about what actually goes into all of these guitars. This particular model is a special edition Carbon Burst GS Mini, which actually features a Sitka spruce top and a layered rosewood backing sides. But of course, you can choose from a number of different wood options depending on the tone that you are looking for. Mahogany and Koa are available on the GS Mini, so depending on the kind of EQ that you are looking for, there's absolutely one to suit your style. And speaking of style, moving right into number 4 is looks. This one is kind of superficial, because I know there are some folks out there who maybe don't care as much about the look of their guitar, but I've always thought, much like electric guitars, why aren't there more options when it comes to the look of acoustic guitars? With the multiple wood choices you can get with a GS Mini, that's obviously going to dramatically change the look of your guitar. Going for obviously the mahogany GS Mini is going to give you a really nice dark coloured wood across the whole thing, whereas if you do go for the Koa model, you may get some of the most breathtaking sort of wood grain that you would see on a guitar, because that wood is so sort of unique on every single cut. But as I mentioned, this special edition Carbon Burst just looks super slick. It's just such a nice looking guitar, to be fair. Taylor also have a Caramel Burst that is available on a GS Mini, and also their Plus models, which I've got kind of main changes are going to be to the preamp system that's in there, but they are featured in a rosewood and a Koa version. So if you do prefer a more kind of natural looking gloss acoustic guitar, you can get that in the GS Mini too. And that brings us very neatly into my last point, and that is that you can get multiple options in the GS family. Not every guitar player needs the same thing, and certainly not every guitar player wants the same thing, which is why I think it is so cool that you can get kind of so many different options in the GS family. Pickup or no pickup, you can choose. Wood choice, well, I mean, we've been over that. Even, you know, left-handed version, they've got that too. And geez, Taylor have even included a GS Mini bass in this lineup, so I guess all we would really need is the GS Mini drum set, and then you can get your whole band out with these guitars. Obviously everybody has their preferences, but again, the main point of this video being that if you haven't tried the GS Mini and you do get the chance to, just give it a little spin. Woo! You might just surprise yourself on how much you actually might like it. Then again, you might not, and that's exactly what the comments section is for. So let us know just down below what your experiences are with a GS Mini. Do you have one? Do you love it? Do you hate it? And while you're down there, obviously give us a like and a subscribe. That really helps the channel to grow. And of course, every single like on this video, I'll play an A minor into a G just for you. But until then, I've been Keiran. This has been the Taylor GS Mini in Carbon Burst. Have a great day.